A few years since our last video.
1, 2, 3,
something
like that.
And I think I've gone through the journey of due diligence for sure.
Right. How would you describe due diligence?
I think, due diligence is, learning and really sort of investigating who you're doing business with.
Know your customer,
right?
Know your supplier, know who you're dealing with.
Yeah, and I think I've sort of gone through that journey. I still have a lot more to go, but man, that's been eye-opening.
Right.
Everything from understanding contracts to seeing if it is a contract to, everything in between. So
right.
It's been a long journey, but it's been fun for sure.
So, what's one of the main things that you've learned, say, about all these deals that we've done?
I mean, the first big one is, of course, if it's not in writing, it's not a contract. So if you're having a conversation,
it's not in writing, it's not real.
It's not even better. Yeah. So I've had a lot of phone calls, a lot of conversations in person, handshakes, the whole thing, hugs and kisses. Doesn't really mean anything.
And I'm going, hey, do we have it in writing?
Yeah.
Do we know what we're really talking about?
Oh yeah, maybe I should get that in writing, kind of thing.
Right.
And then a better example is I go, okay, I finally got it in writing. I feel really good. This is great. Eileen's going to be thrilled. And then we go back and we read it, and sure enough, we find out in this particular example, there's a thing called LOI, a letter of intent,
right?
Which basically means, hey, we had a conversation.
Hey,
that doesn't mean anything.
What did we learn from our favorite lawyer? An
It's
LOI
vapor.
is vapor.
Doesn't mean anything. It's basically
Exactly.
it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
Not
step two.
legally binding. Not
Yes.
legally binding.
Get it in writing. Okay, great. We got it in writing. And now when it's in writing, is it actually a binding contract?
Right.
And then I think the third step that you sort of dragged me through to learn this is how can I read it? I know that sounds like silly.
Is it simple to understand?
Right.
Or is it complicated?
And if I have to send it to my lawyer just to interpret
Right.
what the words are in
Or
English.
if we're sitting there diagramming out what every paragraph is telling us,
Yes.
and then trying to figure out if it conflicts with our insurance, or
Right.
are we making money, or are they making money, if it's not mutually beneficial.
If it's that difficult, it's kind of like, why are we
What are
doing
we really
this?
talking about?
Right. So for me, that journey of just going through those kind of steps and figuring out, the journey of due diligence,
Right.
that's been wildly helpful.
Right. So know your customer, understand what kind of a contract you have, and is it simple and easy?
It's a super simple filter, put it that way, to interacting with other people. I think.
Exactly. And how has it simplified your life, though, to go through all those steps?
It's very quick. It's almost non-emotional. It's sort of like math.
You get rid of the bad deals right away.
It's either going to work or it's not, and you can find out really, really fast.
And it lowers conflict.
It's
all
actually
these
better
great
for both
things.
parties, believe it or not.
Exactly.
If you drag
Moves
it along
faster.
and the emotions and the whole nine, it's just
Right.
like bing, bang, boom.
But
you're
then
done.
what do I always say? What's my total number one focus? The bottom line.
That's right. Inventory and the bottom line.
Which what makes you money, right?
That's right. That's
okay.
right. So
All right.
It's been a fun journey for sure.
Thanks, Larry.